Explosive. Good morning, everybody. Weather looks good this morning. We shoot this before I head off to work. This is for David Eby and Mark Carney, Premier, Prime Minister, Whig and Tory. You didn't follow international protocol. I've already been in contact with the United Nations. I went through the Covenant on Political and Civil Rights, went through the committee, and I've pulled all of your reports up to March 28th. You have not applied when you used that term treason on those Canadian separatists, statehood, and 51st State Canada supporters. When you did that, you violated an international covenant that you bound in international law. I've read all the reports. You haven't followed up on what you were supposed to do in relation to the allies of World War II and with the United States. It's a warning. I'm going to be filing a petition. I'm going to get that. I'm going to get those names and signatures in to that committee and the United Nations Security Council. I'm tagging Mike Waltz in this, who is the UNSC ambassador to the United States on the highest stage of the UN. We're going to go through all of them, and it is going to spell disaster in this report when I showcase to all Canadians every violation of the federal government from 2011 till 2026 today as I give this video. We're going to go through it, and we're going to showcase how David Eby, First Minister under Prime Minister, with full support of Mark Carney, did in fact remove those rights from Canadians, inciting violence in a non-criminal matter that's protected in Covenant. The Canadians have the right to do whatever they want politically, as long as they don't threaten the national security of the country in a dangerous way, a violent means, which it isn't. It's just talk. Anyone's allowed to talk. When you take away those rights of association, of expression, not just bound in our charter here in Canada, but absolutely in international law, bound with the United States of America and Canada jointly. There's many other countries. In fact, it's a mass majority. It's international binding law. Now, China doesn't recognize that. Mark Carney and David Eby, Tory and Whigs, they want to go full communism. They want to remove freedom of association and expression. Mark Carney's 2 trade pacts he's trying to cement will reduce Canadian wages on average to between $250 a month to $655 a month. If you're a Canadian and that looks appealing to you, by all means, jump on the Whigs and the Tories bandwagon. United, they succeed, we fall. Go ahead. Betray the United States. I promise you, by the time I'm done this presentation and this petition drive, it will spell the end of trade with USA and Canada forevermore. The highlights are amazing. The reports are amazing. I'm glad I've always kept up with that. I'm glad I've done all that work for now a decade. And you know what? It has proved fruitful. And I mark my words, David Eby will be apologizing on national TV. That's a fact to all Canadians, and he'll be retracting his statement. Mark my words. Get ready, folks. It's exciting. It's a lot of work I didn't want to have to do, but we've got to stand up to this tyranny the best way we can. In the world order, rules-based World War II Allies world order that they cemented, not Mark Carney's socialist and fascist design based on communism and national fascism that was Nazi Germany and the Axis powers of World War II. That's what we're facing. That's his new world order. And I promise, again, all Canadians, whether you're union or non-union or everything in between, doesn't matter. You can kiss your wages goodbye. You can kiss your future goodbye. You will learn a terrible period of Soviet Union in absolutely an earmarked 15-minute city style reality. They got to that point before they fell. The people took suffrage, unbelievable suffrage. Well, I'm not staying quiet, and I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to embarrass Canada with their own reports, showcase to all of you. When it comes time, everybody, read my massive presentation, circulate it. I don't care. Alberta separatist, Quebec separatist, Alberta 51st state, Quebec 51st state, Canada 51st state. I don't care. You have a right to pursue those things you wish. It's cemented in international law. And no politician in Canada has the right to present you as treasonous. It was removed long ago. David Eby didn't get the memo. David Eby doesn't respect international law and certainly hates the United States of America as much and equivalent to Mark Carney. This is liberal and conservative, known as Whig and Tory. Evil, evil people from an old world order that they're trying to reimagine as a new world order. No different than Nazi Germany. This is Axis powers, socialist and fascist, in nationalized systems. That's what they want. That's what they want. If you go along with it, you're as guilty as the Nazis, the Imperial Japanese, and so many others in world history, all the way up till today. All spin-offs of those old 9 kingdoms, all with ties to them entirely. Britain, the dirtiest shirt, who happens to be merging with China as I give this video. If you haven't seen the latest on Australia, that's your future, Canadians, under Whigs and Tories, because it's happened to Australia. They can't get their ports back from China. They're crapping their pants. They're trying to move away from that. They're scared. And guess what? There's no rescue. You're not in the sphere of influence of the United States. Now you've lost it. You're in the Asian world. You're screwed. You're screwed. And Europe isn't going to help you. The Commonwealth can't help you. The Commonwealth's already trying in their elites to merge with China against you. Uh-oh. Lost your sovereignty. Lost your rights to trade. Foolish is as foolish does. And Canada, you're right there. Your only saving grace is your monumental treaties with the United States that Canada's been in violation of since 2011, which I will be showcasing you entirely from all sources, Canada and Canada's reports to the UN. I have it all of it. Not my reports, not fabricated, the truth. And AI is reporting that truth too. Things are not looking good for Canada, and Mark Carney must declare how he's going to position himself with America. He's got to do it very soon because this petition's going to call him out. Get it shared out, everybody. Get it out. Share, share, share. Make everybody aware. We don't all have to agree on our paths forward, or we don't all have to be at the same level of understanding in international law or treaties with other countries that are binding to us. I understand. And there are people who make a lot of stuff up. I get it. But so does the government of Canada and every premier in Canada. Who taught them how to be that way? The government did. Another showcase I want to do is a case study for the United States of America and any other world power that wishes to see the average mentality of Canadians. And that case study is going to be from David Eby's province, right in the heart of Vancouver, East Vancouver. I'm going to showcase a case study on a serial killer made public, and all those subjects who participated in that murdering system, their interviews, just to showcase to Americans the mentality of Canadians and the devaluation of human life that is now rampant across Canada as we're perverted into a third world genocidal maniac condition. It's awful, god awful, but people need to see it. Americans need to know what they're dealing with. It was no different than Nazi Germany, Imperial Japan, South Africa's apartheid regime. We can go on and on. There are literally dozens and dozens of examples. I just focus on the one that triggers at least Canadians. Anyways, that's my video, folks. God bless. Share. Off to work. Bye now.